In April, I started to feel a lump, and I wasn't sure what to do. Um, I hadn't been working. My
Right.
husband's job had been cut hours, and everything was slim pickings. And I'm like, well, if this is nothing, I can't go, spend thousands of dollars on tests just for nothing. So I waited maybe a week. It was still there. So my first phone call was to ACS, and they gave me the phone number for a program here in Ohio, the Breast and Cervical Cancer Project, or BCCP. I called them immediately the next day then, and they asked me a handful of questions. They found out I didn't have insurance, and they immediately wanted to help. I went for a mammogram and ultrasound. They saw exactly what I had felt and the doctor felt. They scheduled biopsies next. Within, I think it was 4 days, I got the phone call back that it was indeed cancer. I had to contact BCCP back again, and with the information they already had, they were able to presume that I would be good with Medicaid, and they let me go right on into starting my treatments within the next week and a half, 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I can 100% relate to that whole thing because when I was um my company did a major downsize, a complete restructure, and like 400 of us were let go of our job on the same day. I'm a single mom with 3 kids, and I just knew that Cobra was just not going to be, it's just not something I could afford. So I looked into Medicaid for my kids until I was able to find employment again. And I was also told that I could get it as well. I noticed that my one breast that I had a clean mammogram on my 6 months earlier, I noticed that my one breast there was no lump, but it was hard. It was getting harder and harder. And I'm like, why? Well, that's not normal. So I went in for another mammogram, almost put it off, but I'm like, I have to probably see what this is. Um, and took a biopsy because the mammogram missed it again. I have a type of breast cancer called lobular breast cancer, and it does not image well. It's very hard to find it. I had 16 rounds of chemo. I had 33 rounds of radiation. I had, a bilateral mastectomy. I ended up with 3 infections, threw me back into the hospital. Ended up having my expanders removed. Went flat for a couple of years. Had a recurrence. Medicaid really kind of saved my life. If I wouldn't have had that option, I don't know what I would have done because there's no way I could have paid for any of it at that point.
BCCP and the being able to continue that definitely saved my life for sure. There are so many people out there that can use that, because without knowing about it, if they don't know the program exists, if they don't know that there is anything that can help them like that, what are they going to do? They're going to sit there and not get tested. And if they let it go too long, again, they're going to be on the bad end of this. And that is not what we want. We need these programs around right now, especially right now, to help as much as possible.